Thank you for watching this series on scrap journal sketches. I created these sketches from the ground up, and I hope they're useful for both scrapbooking and journaling. Hello, scrapbook friends! And today, our scrap journal layout is going to use one of my favorite techniques. And to help me out with it, I'm going to use a recipe template. Now, don't get me started on why Creative Memories uses the word recipe in so many of its items. Yes, I get confused too. Recipe templates are like these mylar stencils, and I have a small collection of them. This isn't all of them, but I do like them. I don't use them enough, but I will say this. I hope you're subscribed to the channel because I did make a layout using one of these that I'm showing. I have used the whale tail a couple of times and I will be using it more. I almost used it on this layout, but I decided instead to use another favorite, the Borders and Cards recipe template. Now, it's not available right now, but I'm sure there are some out there for sale somewhere. This recipe template, in my opinion, did not get enough love, and so we're going to show some today. When I saw this one, I knew I had to have it. It just has so many beautiful curves that you can make with it. And today, the one I'm going to make is this one in the center. These are so fast and easy. Let's get started. Okay. I put this on black cardstock so it will show in this lighting better. And I'm looking for a shape like this curve. There are some other templates with similar curves, including sailboat and whale tail. This technique is so simple and easy, but it yields such lovely results. So let's look at our sketch. It basically calls for two borders, one at the top and one at the bottom. Each one will be 1.5 inches tall. So 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 will give us a 3-inch border. So we're going to begin by cutting our border paper, which we're going to cut this paper at 3 inches, and then we're going to cut it at 6 3/4 inches. 3 inches by 6 3/4. Of course, the width of our scrap journal pages. 6 3/4. And now we want to cut it basically in half. We could cut a straight line in half, but where's the fun in that? I'm going to use this template to cut roughly in half. So let's set our paper down. It's 3 inches tall, and we're going to come down on here 3 little blocks to the 1.5 inch line, and we're going to try to see what happens when we center this line here, this curve, roughly in the middle. So we don't want it coming up too tall or too wide, and we can play with this by shifting it to the left and the right. I'm going to shift it more this way because I think this is going to give me a really nice curve. This is roughly the center. This right here is about the center, so that puts this near the center. So let's get this back down. I have now positioned my template where I think I want to draw my line. I think I want to draw it. I'm going to be on the top side of this template about here. So I plan to draw a pencil line there. Note that I did slant my template a little bit because I wanted a little more clearance here. So I brought this down and I wanted a little more clearance here. So I wanted this to come up. So this is about what I was aiming at is to get this starting point right here and this ending point right here to roughly be at the center of this, at the 1.5 inch mark, centered. That's my personal taste. It is not necessary. So I'm going to carefully keep this down and I'm going to draw a light pencil mark on my paper. I've shown several ways of drawing these lines, including if I wanted to draw on the back side, I could do that. I personally am fine with having a pencil mark. I'm keeping the template and the paper steady, and I'm just taking a look at my pencil mark. It's very light, but I can see it. And let's see if we can hold it up well enough for you to see it. Okay. So we have our pencil line drawn here. And so all we're going to do is just take out our pair of scissors and cut on the line. It does not have to be perfect, and we're going to take a white eraser, a high polymer eraser, and erase these pencil lines. We could also ink these edges. Some people ink without even erasing the pencil line. I've been known to do that myself. I love this technique. Using the different templates, you get different shapes. And so, how about that for a nice look to the page? Talk about easy. Next, let's get journaling boxes down. I know the sketch calls for 3 journaling spots of a certain size, but here's what's left of this scrap, and I believe I can put it to use on this page. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to leave this 3-inch piece, and it's, what is this? Okay. This piece is 5 1/4 inches wide by 3 inches tall. It was what we did not cut off from here. This is this is 5 inches wide. And let's see how much of this is usable. We're just going to cut it to the size it is, which looks like 2 3/4. So we have 2 3/4 by 5. And because that one's bigger, I'll put it there. And I think this paper has served me well. I'm ready to, one, use a white eraser and get the pencil lines off. Now I'm ready to put this in my journal. If you've seen me use the curved borders before, I've often done them in double layers. I chose not to use an extra layer because this is a journal, not a scrapbook, so to speak, and I want flatness to be able to do my writing. I used repositionable to put down the corners, and this is just a little bit wider. Okay. And how might we decorate this page? I decided to decorate this page. I'm going to do some faux stitching with the navy blue micro tip pen. Can you see the difference with and without? Let's see. Here's with compared to without. I'm going to finish now. I've managed to put the stitching down the sides and around the curved borders. Which brings me to some thoughts I had about where we've gone on our journey so far. We've been on white backgrounds, and there are quite a few scrapbookers who love their white backgrounds. I love them too. This is the perfect type project because I can still write on my white background. I don't see a need for much more decoration for this page because we have somewhat busy paper and the stitching sort of gives us a place for our eye to travel. This tone-on-tone paper is just fine for writing on, so I may actually write just on these mats. I still have several options. And I hope you like the curvy frame technique. It is one of my favorites. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel because more videos are coming soon for the scrap journal, and coming soon will be more recipe template layouts as well. Thank you so much for watching.